Hello and welcome back. If you're returning, this is part 2 of the antique mall shopping trip that I did a couple of weeks ago. I didn't really do it justice, not even in 2 videos. I was only there for a little while. It was I'd kind of flitted around and got as much of it as I could, but I could do with going and spending probably half a day just to do it justice. It was such a large area and there was so much to see. Things you just never seen before. I've never seen anything like these. Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. They weren't all seven, obviously, but that was about $700. It was just amazing. Where do you find these things? Where do you put them? I don't know, but things were just out of the ordinary. And of course, there was a lot of regular items that you might see at every antique market, but it was a very special place just because it was such a large area. It had been put together so well. There were some really lovely vignettes and some great ideas for your own home and your own collections. This particular store was just gorgeous. I think I could have had everything in it. The glass bookshelves, they were so ornate and so many of them. There were corner units, there were freestanding, there were and then there were bookends galore, and I'm a bit of a sucker for a good bookend. This store was just gorgeous. Even the books in it were really nice, the pictures, everything. I love this cabinet. I just think it is beautiful. I would have loved to have put, like I said, everything in that store. Now, I really like this picture frame. It was solid wood and the picture was needlepoint, which was beautifully done. It was a little bit damaged, and for $325, maybe $125, I might have thought about it, but $325 was a little bit overpriced, but it was still lovely. A funny thing as I walk around this antique mall, I actually grew up with a lot of these things either in my grandma's house or in my mum's house, and they are now antiques, and that makes me feel very, very old. I don't know about you guys, but I never really thought they would be antiques. Let's be honest, if you grew up in the 80s like I did, that's now classed as vintage. Oof. I think I'd mentioned in a previous video that I'm really drawn to these religious memorabilia. There was a lot in this store, and again, out of the ordinary. The prices again weren't too bad. There was a couple of little things that were overpriced, but I think when you're dealing with these things, when you're doing it day after day, it must be really hard to try and find the right price for things. But having said that, there was such a lot of really cool items in this particular store. A question for you. Does anyone collect these vintage pictures, whether they are Edwardian, Victorian, or even just from the wars? I think they're really cool, and I think they look really nice when they're displayed. They don't have to be your family, do they? You don't have to know who's in these pictures. Does anyone do that? I would love to do it, but my family thinks it's really odd that I want to do that because I don't know these people. But I think in a way, you're honouring them. We don't know their stories. We don't know, what's gone on in the pictures. But I just think they're so cool. Let me know, whether you agree or disagree. this box of boys, what a cool idea to have if you live by the ocean or by a lake. I thought they'd look so cool out on a porch or even in a garden. These, does anyone recognise these? I've had these. I think I paid less than $1 for mine. I had them up in my kitchen. I love this picture stand. I'm not sure $250 would be what I'd pay for it, but it's a very nice piece. I'd love to have that out. I've got some really nice big pictures that I would put on there. This clock, absolutely gorgeous. $1,750. Yep, I'd buy that in a heartbeat. Well, with all these treasures, you're bound to find something. I mean, is this so ugly that it's pretty again? I don't know. I don't know whether I love it or I hate it. Tin cans, there was lots in this store. This was something I remember growing up with, whether they were biscuit tins or tins that came probably from my grandparents. I think they were very popular before and after the war. I'm not sure if anyone else remembers them, or maybe it was just a British thing. This particular store I did not expect to find. I mean, there's the big old signs, and then there's really ornate pieces that look as though they came from, whether it's a stage or these might have come from a movie set. But you just don't expect to find these things in regular antique malls. Just some really cool stuff. I did like this wall unit. Actually, it was a very old wardrobe. I thought it was lovely, very Art Deco inspired. Would have liked that. This was great, $150. I have one of these Staffordshire dogs, which is, all my dogs go the other direction. I did pick up a little one from here, which was a bookend. That was actually in the same direction. This store had some really nice little architectural pieces and a lovely big bench that I would have loved to have outside my back door. Just loved all these hangers, coat hangers and wall hooks. Thought they were fantastic. This white one in particular, I'd love to have a go at making one like that. There's another one later on in the video which is a darker wood. Just love them. This plant stand, the baby holding, looks like a shell of some kind. Again, is that so ugly that it's attractive again? I don't know whether I love this or hate it. I think the colours are amazing in it. Some of the things in these cabinets were gorgeous. This is another one, this hook and shelves. I love that. I'd love to be able to make something like that. So I think I might have a go at that in an upcoming video, see if I can reproduce something along the terms of those Edwardian Victorian coat hangers or hallway coat hooks. These were unexpected. I'm not sure if they are reproductions or they've been refitted and refurbished. I've got a feeling some of them are original. They're just too unique. But they were fantastic. I really like the old cast iron, but these retro, the 40s and 50s, I mean, they are in the right setting. How cool are they? So here are a couple more of my thrifted treasures. I did pick up this little Staffordshire bookend. As I said, he was from the antique mall. I do have a couple of others that I've had for a little while. I started this collection a little while ago. I do like to pick up these little dog figurines. I'm not real big on figurines, but I do like the dogs. So that's now added to my Staffordshire dog collection. I do have some more items that I've picked up, but they will be coming up in my next video. I've had to do a little bit of work on a couple of them. They were in quite a bad state. The desk in particular I had to recover, but it's turned out really well. So in the next video I will show you the process that I went through with those two and how they look in the house. So stay tuned for the next video, which will be a little bit of a what I did and how it looks now in the mini house tour. So we'll see you next time. Thanks so much for watching.